Hi, my name is Slumber Lane, and today I'm going to be talking to you about ways to find new music and just some of my feelings on the state of art. And I don't mean to bore you, but I would like to share some of my feelings on just YouTube videos in general. I feel like I've used to be like an avid viewer of YouTube. Obviously, as a kid, like that would be my go-to place to just watch. Sometimes it would be Pink Panther videos, sometimes it would be Vsauce or like SciShow, but it just seems like content these days, or at least YouTube videos, are just boring, or there's just nothing, you just feel empty. And one thing that I think adds to this is just the fact that a lot of videos wait until like the midpoint, like halfway through, to actually talk about what's in the title. Like, for example, a few days ago I was trying to watch a video about how to improve like sleep deprivation and insomnia, and it took like 10 minutes for them to actually start talking about the solutions. The first 10 minutes were just, oh, this is what causes it, this is like, it comes from stress. Oh yeah, everything like stresses people out these days. So wow, that was so new. But yeah, I don't like how YouTube videos, like, there's also the YouTube videos that explain why something's so good, or like, oh, this movie is so good, this is why. I'm going to explain that. This is why this album is so good. It's just like, that's great, but art is subjective, music is subjective. Why not just say, this is why I like it? When you're saying that, it's kind of misleading, and it obviously is clickbait, but I don't know, it just makes me not want to watch it. When someone tells me this is why it's so good, it just makes me not care. And I'm not going to rant too long, but I just, mainly all I'm trying to say is, it just seems like everything is content these days, and there's no art, and everything just feels empty. Not even just YouTube videos, like movies, TV shows, and music. I love music, I love making music, but sometimes I listen to new artists and I can just hear a chord progression that's been recycled, or I can hear a melody that just sounds really similar, or a verse that sounds really similar, or just lyrics that I'm sure have been said like 1,000 times. Yeah, like sometimes I'll even be watching a movie, and like, just with the state of content, I almost feel like obligated to laugh at like a manufactured joke, just because I know the people who made it are trying so hard to get a laugh out of the audience. Or like, even sometimes I'll stay loyal to a show, even if like midway through watching it, I'm really bored, but it's like, what else am I gonna do with my time? And I can tell they tried, but it's still just like, I feel like a lot of art or content is missing heart. And as much as I love art, and I mean, what high ground do I have to stand on? It's not like I'm this amazing artist or anything, but I feel like a lot of people can probably share the same sentiment of what I'm talking about, of just feeling like even my friends, they don't want to go to the movies anymore. A lot of people I talk to don't want to go to the movies unless it's like Barbie. Everyone's gonna see that, but like, it just seems like movies like Barbie only come once a year, or maybe once every other year. And anyway, that's the end of my rant. But I just felt like I needed to say something about like art, and just why people are kind of not going to theater anymore, and why I personally don't even enjoy YouTube as much. But yeah, anyway, the title of this video also said how to find new music, so I will talk about that now. The first way I wanted to talk about was going to record stores. I already love going to record stores. I personally don't have a record player, but my friend does, and I'll buy records sometimes and we'll just listen to them. And one of the main things I love about going to record stores is just the unlimited almost amount of new music you can find. And what's amazing is you don't really have to buy any of the records. You can just look at each of the vinyls. If you find a new artist that you think looks cool or interesting, you can just look them up and listen to them on Spotify. But one thing that really makes me like, a lot of the artists I found is just through, I might go to like psychedelic section and look at like the really cool album cover art, and then I'll look up the artists and then end up liking their music, and then they're added to my playlist. So yeah, I love finding like really cool album cover art, and I'll just like stare at it for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then the second way I suggest to find new music is through asking your friends for their playlists. Obviously, if your friend's like super into country music or something and you're not, then don't ask them. But if it seems like they already have similar taste in music, maybe ask them to make a playlist for you, or ask them what their favorite playlist is, and just ask them to share it with you. And then the third way I suggest to find new music would be to let Spotify's algorithm. So after you're like done listening to an album or a single, sometimes Spotify's algorithm will start suggesting songs to you automatically. And I've found that this is a much more accurate, or at least it tends to suggest music closer to my taste than something like Discover Weekly. And I don't have anything against Discover Weekly, it's just in the past it hasn't really been the best at suggesting songs I like. Like, it's always hit or miss. Like, there will just be weeks where all the songs I listened to on Discover Weekly just felt like a waste of time and they were really bad. And then there's weeks where like almost all the songs on Discover Weekly are really good. But there's never really been an in-between where like I like some of the songs. It's just always, I either like all of them or I don't like any of them. And then lastly, I highly suggest Instagram Reels or TikTok. I found a lot of cool songs on there. I found some 21 Savage songs. I found some interesting like Latin jazz songs, like The Lamp is Low by Lorindo Almeida. But that's basically the end of the video. Those are the 4 different ways to find new music. Now it's time for me to self-promote. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's in the link in the description below, as well as if you want to follow my Spotify, it's also going to be in the link in the description below. Thank you.